Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you see this video. My name is Tamani Mwandani. Most of the people who will get this already know who I am, but I'm hoping and praying that this gets shared with people I don't know yet, and we will become connected and be able to build, especially here locally in Houston, Texas, moving forward. So if you don't know me, my name is Tamani Mwandani. I'm the founder of the Grow for Care Alliance, Black Gold Nation, as well as Three Levels Edutainment. And this presentation is about an event we're having this upcoming Friday and Saturday. It's a 2-day event focused on the current realities of what it means to be Black here in America, and what we need to be doing immediately that unfortunately we haven't been doing to put ourselves in a better position moving forward. If you have not noticed, a lot of things are changing in this country with this new presidential administration, and I do not believe that we have a lot of time to put some things in place on a local level moving up so that we can ensure that we don't become a permanent underclass in this country. And that is what this event is about. It's titled Leave the World Behind, behind the movie. After the movie, Leave the World Behind, because it is an absolutely fantastic movie. And there's one particular scene that I have built this event around, which we will discuss after the first day, which is when we're going to watch the movie online as a group. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And we're going to jump right into it. The Grow for Care Alliance and Black Gold Nation. This is a collaboration between the two. Leave the World Behind, a Black community analysis, perspective, and action plan. It's absolutely imperative and important that we understand our reality in 2025.
We got to understand colonialism. We live in Black communities in America are domestic colonies of a colonial capitalist system. And here's where they get you. They get you focusing on racism. And we have to, but racism is the ideology of capitalism. It is not the system. The system is capitalism, and then you have a socialist system, and communism is the utopian system that doesn't exist. You have communist parties and countries, but you don't have a communist government. So when we look at every Black community, what is a domestic colony? A colony is when a foreign nation takes over a sovereign state and brings in its military and extracts from its natural resources from that land and the labor, slave labor. That's what colonialism is. So domestic colonialism means that we in Black communities across this country, we don't have anything like Tulsa or Rosewood in the 21st century. There's no Black community where we're in control of the land, the resources, the means of production, all of the social, cultural institutions like they had in Rosewood in the 1920s. So now we have none of that. We are over $1 trillion consumer market, and yet we have no community in the country that looks anything like Rosewood or Tulsa of the 1920s. And here we are in 2023. So
let me put a slick definition on it, Charles, Brother Barron. You know, somebody asked Malcolm X, said, Brother Minister Malcolm X, what do you mean by Black nationalism? And to just capitalize what you said, he said, you must control the land, labor, and resources, the economic, politics, and culture where you live. We control none of that where we live. And that just capsulizes it. And, right. and when we think of it, here we're expected to spend $2 trillion this year in consumer dollars. Uh-huh. We control no land. We control no labor. We control no resources. We do not control the economics, the politics, or the culture where we live. All right? And then we, by definition, we can't even call where we live communities, because communities presuppose that you control those things.
Absolutely.
That's right.
We are neighborhoods in capitalistic colonial communities.
So other groups control our spaces across the board, which is what Brother Charles Barron and Professor Smalls was saying. To recap what he said, quote, Black communities in America are domestic colonies of a colonial capitalist system. A colony is when a foreign nation, other ethnic groups with assistance from the U.S. government, takes over a sovereign state, our communities, and brings in its military, the police, and extracts from it its natural resources, our brothers, our sisters, our children, while simultaneously creating a slave labor, the cradle to prison pipeline, workforce, whereby the people own and or control nothing. That is our reality, which is why we repeatedly lose. Now, add to what Brother Barron just said, add to that this current administration's attacks on and destruction or dismantling of the American economy. Trump is dismantling the American economy and destroying it on purpose. He said that he wants it to fail, and he's doing every single thing he can to ensure it does just that. The attacks on and destruction / dismantling of science and scientific research, the education system, voting rights via the SAVE Act. If you don't know what that is, just Google it. Veterans and veteran benefits, labor laws and unions, African American contributions and our history in this country, the social safety net, which includes WIC, AFDC, Medicare, and Social Security, and consumer protections. Mass deportations. It doesn't matter if you are a criminal or not, and they've already been deporting people who are not criminals, have no connection to criminality whatsoever, but they don't care. And even when it's been pointed out that they deported someone who's not a criminal, they are doing nothing to bring those persons back. Trump's desire to tariff our pharmaceuticals. So if you look at what's happening right now with the tariffs that are going to cripple the spending power of the average American, the price of everything is going to go up. He wants to do the same thing with the pharmaceutical industry. The Department of Justice's criminal investigation of any company and or government entity or facility or organization that has a DEI program, diversity, equity, and inclusion program, the stripping of power of federal judges via the No Rogue Rulings Act. Again, if you don't know what it is, just Google it. The lifting of the cap on banks on how much they can charge for overdraft fees, so they are no longer mandated by law to not charge more than $5. Now they can charge whatever they want to. When you add the previous statement from Brother Charles Barron, with what's currently taking place and happening right now in this country under this president and this administration, it is not easy to see that our reality in 2025 in America is not a good one. We absolutely must tap into our own Black excellence, our own Black expertise, our own Black wheels, if you will, that are already up and running. We don't have time to create anything new. We have to tap into things that are already up and running so that we can, as a collective, as much as possible, make them bigger, better, and stronger. We have to tap into our own food systems that we create, that we can secure, and that we can control. Our own water supply and security, our own spiritual understanding and connectivity, our own cultural development and understanding. We can no longer afford to contribute to a culture that was given to us by other people that is nothing but a nigger factory. We have to create a culture, a right culture, if you will, because you can most certainly have wrong culture, that makes the excellence of Blackness the goal across the board. We have to tap into our own development systems for our own youth so we can not only raise them to be what we need them to be, but we can also employ them. We have to tap into developing community businesses that we own and or control, our own think tanks. Everything that's happening right now is what they said they were going to do via Project 2025, which many people, Black, white and otherwise, said was not real, was a Democrat hoax. Trump wasn't connected to it. All of that stuff that they said they were going to do, they are now doing. And the only reason they are able to do that is because they have white think tanks thinking about how to make these things happen. We need Black think tanks that are going to do the opposite. And of course, we need local political mobilization and organization. If we don't tap into our own solutions that we already have, we're simply not going to make it, and we're going to become a permanent underclass in a country that was built on the backs of our people. So we're inviting you to join us to help us continue to build our own, because nobody's going to do this for us. What is this? The Leave the World Behind is a 2-day conference about what we absolutely must do right now. The conference is going to take place the last Friday and Saturday of this month, which is next Friday, April 25th. That's when we're going to have the online viewing of the movie. And then Saturday, April 26th, we're going to have 6 different conference segments talking about different things that we absolutely must start doing right now. Why are we doing this? We're doing this because we have to tap into what we already have so that we can feed ourselves, we can educate ourselves, and we can employ ourselves, which will allow us to connect with like-minded Black people so that we can build for, empower, and free ourselves. How we're going to do this? We're going to do this by having this 2-day conference, and you can be a part of it by going to our website, www.growforcare.org. Click, hover your mouse over events, and then scroll down and click Leave the World Behind, and you can register. It's a free event. It's an all-day event. We would love for everyone to be a part of it all day, but if you can't do that, just register for the component that you have expertise in. Register for the component that you have interest in. Register for the component that you have relationships and connections in, because it's all about connecting with solutions that we already have, that are already up and running, so that we can keep this thing going. Again, we would love for everyone to be a part of the conference all day, but that may not be realistic. So plug into the segments that speak to you so that we can build and continue moving forward, because this administration currently is not playing games with Black, poor, and or grassroots people. We absolutely must take the writing on the wall seriously, understand what's happening, what they're doing, mobilize and organize ourselves to push back against it, and then get about the work, because again, time is not on our side. Always, always, always remember, as our brother A. Philip Randolph says, at the banquet table of nature, there are no reserved seats. You get what you can take, and you keep what you can hold. If you can't take anything, you won't get anything. And if you can't hold anything, you won't keep anything. And you can't take anything without organization. Black people absolutely must focus on mobilizing and organizing people who look like us, who are willing to think like us, so we can build for ourselves moving forward. It's time for our people to get organized. We must continually seek to enhance our power position of our community by creating a nation within this nation, coupled with a master plan to forever build upon our power position.
I think Black people and Black Christian nationalism says we have to approach the whole problem in terms of power. Black people have to begin to build institutions. Every institution that exists belongs to white people, was built by white people, and serves the interests of white people. And for Black organizational leaders to be sitting there talking as though they have power, as though they represent something. We want to represent everybody, we want to bring everybody together, we want to build a beautiful America. We don't want to build no kind of beautiful America. We want power for Black people, and we're going to fight for it. It's demands confrontation and the willingness to do anything necessary to get power. And we got to take it away from white people. White people are not going to give Black people anything. Politically, economically, or any other way, Black man is no longer necessary in America. And the white man is hell-bent on genocide. So we have to understand we've got to build institutional power to deal with the white man moving society to destroy.
It is time to mobilize and organize. It's time to build for ourselves. Please go to our website, www.growforcare, G-R-O-W, the number 4, C-A-R-E.org. Hover your mouse over events. Click on Leave the World Behind and register. Again, we'd love for you to be there for the entire event. But if you cannot register for those components that speak to you, that you want to be a part of, that you have expertise in, and let's get about the work of doing what must be done for ourselves, for our future, so that we can build something that matters and something that's going to put us in a position by which we can be safe, we can be strong, and we can build upon our power base for eternity. Thank you very much. God bless, and I hope to see you guys there.